What's up, everybody? My name is Claudia McClendon. I am the CEO and creator of One Another. I create and produce one-of-a-kind upcycled clothing and art, and I specialize in zero-waste designs. So here's something I want to talk about. It's the zero-waste designs, ZXS. So ZXS, aka Zero Excess. I believe that there's no such thing as waste. In nature, there's no such thing as waste. So if there's no such thing as waste in nature and only energy transferred, oh, that rhymed, and if it rhymed for a reason, so be it, then there's no waste anywhere. So within my own designs, any material that is not a part of the structured garment or product is just excess material. So any excess is more material that I have to use. So zero excess would then mean everything is being used within the production. Everything is being used within the process. So that's my thought process. That is my design philosophy. And it should be everyone's at this point. And if you can't do it yourself, find someone who can. I think of the design process for a fashion designer always has to be one person thinking of something. Sometimes they have a team, but a lot of times, especially for smaller designers, it's just us. But I'd like to encourage other designers, artists of any kind, but mostly those that produce a material of something, to get connected with another artist who has an idea for your excess material. So ZXS is basically this connection movement between different designers to really mitigate this small problem at first that truly does build up over time. When I had my very first studio in my home garage, and I've been sewing in my home for like, I think 4 years up to that point, I collected a lot of scraps. I don't like to use the word scraps, but for the sake of this video, you understand what I mean. And I was saying that I had a zero waste studio because my own studio was the landfill. And to be fair, it's not in any way equivalent to what a landfill is. Hell no. Not only because my scraps are organized, but also because it's not emitting harmful gases into the atmosphere. It's actually in my home, contained, not in the environment causing problems. So, but I still had intentions for every single piece of scrap that I had. I just didn't have the time or energy to do it. Just basic life, no, not really basic, but my life at the moment just wouldn't allow me to take care of my responsibilities as a zero excess designer. So, but in retrospect, and now, I have a little bit more freedom or autonomy within my life. Going forward, I still just want to be able to take care of my excess responsibly. So, and I'd like to encourage others to do the same. Because you can be an upcycle fashion designer, but that doesn't mean you're a zero waste designer. You can be a zero waste designer who is also not an upcycle fashion designer. I am a zero waste upcycle fashion designer. So, just what are your values? And then whatever your values are, let that identify you in the moment, right? So I'm not a circular fashion designer because I still have loops that are not closed. I still have systems that have holes in it. So I'm not a circular fashion designer, but I am a zero waste upcycle fashion designer. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. This is just a video of me talking for almost 5 minutes about something that matters a lot to me. ZXS, zero excess. No such thing as waste, just excess material that can still be used. And it doesn't have to be used by only you. One person's excess could be another person's, I gotta find something that rhymes with excess. Treasure? and one person's excess can be another person's access. I don't know. Y'all help me out with that. But yeah, this was Claudia, creator of One Another, and I am an upcycled fashion designer who specializes in zero waste designs. Period.